What is up? I turned my tunes down. Can't even hear myself think. Jamming hard. Dastra, Kevin Hart. Zissik, how you doing? You're watching the NASDAQ rug live right now. Here's the daily. Oof. What an absolute reversal. You want to see something absolutely crazy? Absolutely crazy. Check this out. This is where Netflix closed, right? 508. There's your post market. 420. It's an $86 gap down after the close. That's pretty nuts. That is crazy. It's still going too, man. It's getting absolutely hammered. Como, what's going on? Yeah, was that what it was? Expectations? I mean, I've been out. I just came back to see. I was like, oh my God. S&P rolled over. And that line's no longer relevant. That line, no longer relevant. Just getting taken to the woodshed, man. Torian, what's up, buddy? So yes, these dated monkeys. What's up? Not very often you get to see Standard Markets rug while we're in the green. Super bizarre. Gold slightly up. I was looking at this earlier. Yeah. When we were all like, it's happening. And it literally, look at this line on Bitcoin. It's like essentially it came up and tapped the DTL. Super accurate. But yeah, this is going to be something to behold. I will say where we are right now for the NQ. And you're going, Jared, this is, we're crypto. We don't give a shit. No, we do. We do. Because here's the thing, family. If we don't hold between where we are now and this green box, it's a pretty long drop from there. I mean, look at this. It'd be yes. Yeah. I mean, the S&P is going to be in free fall until a lot further. Thoughts on multi-planetary colonization? That's what happens? Yikes. Yeah, we need this little pocket to hold. Carolina, how you doing? This is a hell of a thing. It's almost like, so we can talk about what we're going to talk about, and we can go a little bit extemporaneous on this too, and get a little bit offhand, but like, I mean, let's go to the weekly. Look at how many weeks Netflix is absolutely crushing people now. Now, this area probably should hold for Netflix. Like, this is probably not a decent or not a bad buy. In fact, I remember when I traded stocks a lot more, I remember the day that Boeing essentially rugged. And that was a hell of a day, man. That was this. I remember this. This was, I was still pretty much into both at that time. And I remember this breakdown of this top. This is a diamond top. You don't see it very often. I can't believe my notes are still up here. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, this was essentially a diamond top that gave you a way out. And then the short was from 340 down to 88 bucks. That was in a week, guys. That was when all the Boeing Max jets were like crashing and people were dying everywhere. Not really. There was like 4 crashes, but still, it sucked. It was not good. So you had this diamond top on Boeing, and then bam, right back down. Pretty crazy. So yeah, this is obviously not how we usually do things here. Going a little bit off script, but I think it's worth going off script when the standard market's rugging and all of our relatives are going to be asking us for loans now because crypto isn't. JD Capital, is this where I find out how to live in the year 3000? I'm not sure I can help you on that one. SPX to 2600? You just like straight reverting this bitch back here? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We should hold that level. Yeah. So like we're just through a couple key areas. Like this should hold. It should hold. And the reason why it should hold is the same reason why I wanted to stream today, because I'm going to talk. I kind of went on a little bit of a side shot or on a tangent about stagflation and what's happening in crypto right now. Hold on one second here. Oh my God. The Russell broke down. Yikes. This is pretty wild. This is pretty wild. So, remember how we talk about deviations? Like, I know that I'm kind of bouncing all over the place here, but like, you don't see shit this crazy very often. So I'm just kind of processing as we go, right? So essentially you got the deviation to the high side, which means you're probably going to test on the bottom side. And if you like small caps or if you like America, you really want the RTY to not fucking die, dude. If the Russell dies, we're fucked. I'm going to pull up a couple things here. I sent them to Kaz. He might be... I guess I don't know Kaz. He's streaming right now, too, so I don't blame you if you paid me. Kaz is good people. Fuck you. Even dark mode doesn't really work. Yeah, so Shady says just relentless selling today when rates were down to just heavy de-risking in TradFi, which is exactly what's happening. Okay. This is asset class performance in 2021. Last year, Bitcoin, 60%. A commodity was number 2, oil. And then 7, what's up? Don't care about donations. Moan, please. Yeah, that's pretty good. The S&P Commodities Index was up 37%, while the S&P 500 was only up 27%. Commodity, digital commodity. S&P 500, real estate, and commodities, where people typically run to, had a better year in 2021. Gold down. So this gets pretty interesting. Billionaires selling big chunks of their equity near end last year, and CEOs leaving the boat. Should have been a tell. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now, look at this. I will share these links too, by the way. On the purchasing power of the dollar over the last really 100 years, right? A little more. Dollar's going down. Commodities are performing. Yeah, that's stagflation, guys. That's stagflation. Quantitative easing, QE1 begins a response to the financial crisis. That was the beginning of the end. And remember, look what's marked on here. Quantitative easing, QE1, begins in response to the financial crisis. Does anybody remember why Satoshi started Bitcoin? Yeah. Because of exactly right. Because of the financial crisis and what they did to bail them out. All right, you're seeing a run on Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. Some selling. The U.S. money supply grew by 3.8 trillion in 2020, equal to 20% of all dollars ever created. And if you add in 2021 into that, it becomes more like 50%. This is very, very clearly the start of a recession. Okay, this is what happens. This is what happens. I'm going to switch back to Bitcoin really quick, because you're starting to see the sell-off. And I'm not 100% sure that we get out of this without getting clapped. Yep, there it goes. What's interesting here is the relative strengths, okay? Yeah, by the way, Acorian and Hodl to the Moon Lambos. Interestingly, you're right, and I'm sure you guys know this because I know you've been in this for a while. Yeah, during recessions, like guns, alcohol, cigarettes, that's where like people... that's where investors will throw their money when it's not in commodities, okay? Because believe it or not, people, when times are tough, will cut their Netflix subscription. They will not cut out their smoking habit. I mean, that's not really hard to believe, but it's true. You have to understand how opportunistic the market is, okay? So I think there's a pretty strong case for crypto to hold up better than standard markets here, although we probably see a rinse. That said, when's the last time you saw something like this on the S&P, which is what I'm on right now, and then the NASDAQ, this sort of selling? It's been a while. It's been a while. So we are not immune. We are not immune. So I'd cover your butt, but I also think that crypto is going to respond better. All right, since we're a crypto show, and that's what we care about, I like what I'm seeing so far. I truly do. We're responding better than the standard market is. In fact, I would go as far as to say that the NQ is into support, the S&P is into support. If we can hold while they find a bottom, the next update, you should see a huge rip in crypto. If things just continue to free fall, then technically my long signal that I gave, whatever that was, 10 days ago, this day, the 11th, 9 days ago, would be invalid. So, I want to give you very clear instructions right now, in my opinion. Not financial advice, do your own research, go fuck yourself. That's the stuff that I always say, right? If Bitcoin breaks down below the lows, I will be in cash. But the first opportunity that I can, when it turns up, I'll be back in. Right? But we are right into support right now for the NQ. Yeah. You guys having a gun you're looking at? I know some people that made a fortune last recession buying ammunition. Maybe run out, buy some ammo. That's a 2x. Ammo's a 2x. Ammo is a 2x. It is very, very nuts. Yeah, so Corey, you weren't on the last stream. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're back. But I said the exact same thing. So the narrative, I agree completely. Like, Kobe wrote a Substack on it. I talked about it. I think a few other people have as well. But the amount of funds that are channeling into new chains and new projects, like their bag holders, right? Are they going to kill their own bags? Because like they got a lot of money into that. So probably not. So even if we go through a real period of like true recession, even through crypto, I believe there will always be a narrative that we can chase. There will always be a side chase. And you just got to know how to play it, right? So I think that will happen. I also think it is very, very possible that you see strength return to Bitcoin soon. Truly, I do. Okay? So, I've talked about this for a while, and it's something to keep your head on a swivel, right? It already played out, Jasper. It already played out. There was a bear div on this, okay? There was a bear div on ETHBTC. The same one that was the market top in Bitcoin. Right here. Target for that is right here. It probably overshoots it. If we get there. Trying to clone this box. Okay. Let me just show you an alternative where Bitcoin outperforms for the near future, because it is possible. Obviously, you can see my annotations here. I still think this is correct, particularly if things pull up. And by the way, I think there's a pretty good chance that they do. Oh, you bastard. I'm just pulling this out. I don't want this to fuck up what I'm about to say. I think there's a chance they pull out. Because again, like you see an entire market rug. What is Biden and what are Biden and the Fed going to be inclined to do? Yeah, they're not gonna they're not going to completely just put the death stroke on the economy. So like you might see some more friendly verbiage soon, which would be pretty wild. So if that's the case, then, you know, mess around for a while, return back up. But if not, and if there is a period where you think, okay, Bitcoin's going to outperform because it's going to start to act more like a commodity, it's going to act more like a store of value, and the store of value is because of this, right? Like the dollar has taken an absolute shit forever, and we're just, you know, drastically increasing its decline or decline. So if that's the case, and people see Bitcoin as an alternative to a US dollar that is an absolute piece of shit, which, let's be honest, it is, I think there's a chance you see this, okay? If you test one side and it fails the breakout, it usually tests the other side. We saw that here. When we overshot this side and we came down and we haven't even stopped yet. Yeah. I don't even want to get started. But even, yeah, if you look at today, look at this. What I would caution you to is that, like, we're not, as much as like we're all kind of sitting over here being like, ha, bitches, like you're selling off and we're not. That's just a huge down bar on Ethereum. Like, truly, our next area of support after this is 37.5 to 39 if we break down, which is where our long is, right? My stop is 39.7. But if we slice through that, 29 to 31. And that is a real possibility. That is a real possibility. Why you have to protect yourself. Are we catching a bid yet? I mean, look at that, dude. A 5-minute chart. ES is worse. In my opinion, if we lose this level on the S&P 500, it probably drops another 100 points. If we lose this area, it's going to go to 43.44 instead of 44.44. 100 points, maybe overnight. Shady says the amazing part is the indices are only back to where they were 3 months ago. Yeah, so that's the line we just lost. That wasn't even real. Sorry. This down here, this yellow line, 43.47. If this area doesn't hold, because essentially we're looking at this pivot as something to hold, but like that's pretty weak. I don't see that as anything that's like that big. So, yikes. Adam's having such a good day too. Yeah, man, great minds. Great minds. Maybe 43.90. It is always when Adam's having fun, dude. Like, literally, we're up here. People are feeling good. Quite frankly, though, I kind of like what I'm seeing out of Adam. Like, this is pretty damn good. All things considered. Yeah, we badly need the bottom to be in. And I think even if the bottom is in on ES and NQ, you're going to see liquidity games in crypto. It's just what happens. It is just what happens. Turn to my brightness of my laptop over here. I'll be honest with you. I was out. I think there was some pivotal earnings today, wasn't there? Let's see if I can pull it up. Oh no, I've been on Netflix. Like, I opened the show with Netflix. Where is it now? Yeah, it's into my support now. When I checked before, it was like, what, 420? Now we're down to 415, 414. And here's the thing, like, this should hold. Quite frankly, it should hold. Because like these sorts of pivots that are broken out and like proven aren't just like easily given up on. But if it does give out, that's weakness, right? It's just like this. This chart I show, give an example, okay? This is real weakness on Bitcoin. It has been. Gaps between levels. It's a real thing. It's something you want to take note of. So it's not like an actionable piece of information where you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to make a trade off that. Like, no, you don't. You can maybe adjust where you would want to short from or hedge from, but like we've already gone through and I think we're turning. But it's like one of those things that you just kind of put in the back of your head to go, what are the market conditions like? And quite frankly, if Netflix slices through where the previous resistance high was, then it broke out and proved to be resistance, and then can't hold it on a sell down like this, that is indicative of a very bad place for the company. And like, let's talk for a moment about what is happening, right? Yeah, it's all happening post-market. Let's talk for a moment about what's actually happening when things sell down this hard. By the way, bid coming in on ES and NQ right now. So we're selling in crypto harder, but ES and NQ are bottoming. So if something like Netflix sells off this hard, I think somebody made the comment earlier, like subscriber numbers weren't as good as I expected them to be. Okay. Yeah. So subscriber numbers were not as good as they expected them to be. And so that's a sell-off. Well, what exactly is happening, to cause this to go down? Well, it's essentially some major funds are shutting down. They're shutting down their position. And so that's what causes a massive gap down. So yeah, when you see a revenue surprise of that, that's pretty bad. Yeah, for sure. But the thing is, like, they can't get out of the position like you and I can, where you're just like, all right, I'm gonna close. Like, they have to get out, and they just do it whenever they can. Yep. Yeah, biotech being down, aka like what Vitalik shilled today. Being down a lot, not great. Bobby, what's up? First time viewer. You've been in here before. Yeah, so the same things that happen. What's up, man? The same things that happen with our liquidation engine do happen in the standard market. It's just that everything's collateralized. So they don't allow the same level of leverage. But that's where cascades really do happen. And sometimes it's options. Like, your options get you to a level. That's what it is. I saw you on YouTube. And you have to start closing other positions to cover your loss. That guy who came in here and said, stop talking about the stock market, Bitcoin doesn't have earnings, so it's not relevant. Like, that guy doesn't get it, and I muted him. So that sucks for him. Seeing some buying in the S&P. And the reason why I'm looking at the S&P, the reason why I'm looking at the NASDAQ is as much as they rug, it becomes a greater chance that we just go right with it, right? So we want them to stop. Pretty bad. Arc. You know that movie? Yeah, there is a live stream on YouTube and Twitter as well. You know, in what was it, Taken, where what's his name? Liam Neeson's talking to his daughter, and he's like, "You're gonna be taken." We're gonna see a stop run on Bitcoin right now. You're gonna see liquidity source. It could go to 37. It's gonna happen. And not that I don't believe it'll snap back. I actually think it will. It's just when there's this much fear in the marketplace, people take advantage of it, and that's what you're about to see. We might watch a cascading liquidation run on Bitcoin together. Live rug, man. My stop's gonna get hit, and we'll all be closer for it. Give me 1 second here. I gotta turn off my camera while I take care of congestion. Hold on. Yeah, but we're all friends, right? Like, that's the thing. At the end of the day, it's not just the money you made along the way, but the friends, right? You know? Hey, somebody's putting in a battle. That's good. Somebody's trying to defend this little bullshit low. I appreciate you, sir. I don't know who you are. It's a bad idea, but good for you. Ride together, die together, Impooty. You know, I know MT8 that first time I gave you a hard time about your name because I literally thought it was Impooty8, which is really stupid. But you're like one of the only cats that has a nickname in here. Like, I don't give out nicknames very often. You're Impooty. You and like these dated monkeys. That's it. Is the micro event or a macro event? Oh, thank you, Kevin Heart Attack. Saved me from having to shill it. You know, yeah, man. Impooty and these dated monkeys both get a nickname that I'll remember until my mind fails me. Get nicknames that I'll remember because I essentially screwed up interpreting their names. Can you order alcohol on Amazon? Is that a thing? I realize I'm not really getting at anything right now. I have to sit back and kind of monitor this. And so I'm just going to vibe with you guys. If you got questions, let's talk about it. Getting a little bit of a snapback. Oh, dude. I tell you what, if you could order alcohol and like vape pens or other things on Amazon, I'm gonna try to leave my house. The case for Adam. So let's do this. I'm gonna talk about Adam, and I'm gonna talk about Juno, and we'll just check back in periodically with what's going on because I have on a screen you can't see over there. I have low time frame, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ES, and NQ. So let me talk about why I've been so bullish on Juno. I guess I should check to see what the Juno price is, because did it just rug? Because if it did, then this is gonna be a lot less fun. I don't know if I can't even pull it up. It's not bad, right? It's not bad. I wish we were over 20. It's still higher than it was yesterday. Pretty nice. So I want to go through why I'm so bullish on this, and something that Vitalik said today while he was on Up Only, of how he's not sure how like if cross chain really, like, not that it's one big chain, but that things will be separated, because if there was an issue and you had to roll it back, you'd fuck everything up. And I was like yelling at my screen, and I was like sending Ledger a message, and I was like, Cosmos fixes this. If you know what I'm talking about, if you watched Up Only today, there was a period where Vitalik was talking about like cross-chain, multi-chain, you know, all coming together and meshing as one. And he said, you know, I don't ever think we'll have like one single organism, because if you had to roll back a chain, like if something crazy happened on Ethereum, we could roll it back and control a lot of the damage, right? And so you go, all right, well, that's not great. Because like, here's the thing. If you had to actually roll back Ethereum because some crazy shit happened, like that'd be fine, because we'd all get our money out that we would have lost during that period. But then after that, Ethereum ceases to exist. It's like what happened to, you know, Ethereum Classic. Like, I'm not going to operate on a chain that can be rolled back. I appreciate that it was. I'm not going to give you my money and be like, oh, I'll just take it. I shouldn't have gotten it back. Like, I'll take it. But then like you lose some verity, right? Some truth in that chain. So Cosmos truly does fix that, because IBC is essentially like a confirmation of assets across chains, right? But it's the way I understand it is it's not actually like it's not actually like bridging per se, but it's like allowing you to use one asset on other chains while things are natively held on the chain that it's on. And you're gonna be like, that sounds ridiculous, Jared. Like, what are you talking about? Well, that means like things are still siloed. So if there is a breakdown, you can shut down Juno chain, and things that were ported in non-natively from Juno can still be siloed off, which is a hell of a thing. And so what Vitalik was talking about today, and what Cosmos is saying they're going to do, he was like, it's impossible. You would never really want to do it. And I'm like, bullshit, man. That's exactly what the value proposition is for Cosmos. It is literally the value proposition for Cosmos. Not to mention layer 0, layer 0, layer 0. I swear to God, I have shilled layer 0 to more people than I even know what to do with. You'd be like, this guy has to have equity. Not only do I not have equity, I know a lot of the guys that do have equity. And I was like, yo, let me get in. And they were like, go fuck yourself. And I'm still shilling this. Okay. I know a half dozen guys that got in, and they all told me to fuck off. Okay. And I still am like, I'm not even mad about it, because I'd tell me to fuck off too. And if layer 0 is going to be the transfer layer of IBC and Cosmos, you add what Cosmos is trying to do with layer 0, and all the issues where Vitalik was like, one chain doesn't matter. Bullshit. Bullshit. It can't happen. All right. So how many do we have right now? Yeah, for real. John, the FA in Cosmos and Atom is so good that like I have staked grown man money on Juno, and it would take me 28 days to get it off if I changed my mind, and I do not care. Like, that's a lot of liability to leave out there over a month. Like, a month in crypto is effectively, I mean, essentially Bitcoin can go to 0 in a week, you know? A month's not going to do me shit. Yeah, a month's 10 years, no doubt. No doubt about it, okay? So you look at these chains. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. All right, so like 20. I'm sure some of you can probably do this faster than me. What is it, like 25? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. It's called 30 chains. 30 chains. Oh, yeah, no, I would never LP Juno. Then it just means I'm going to make less of it. I have no interest in that. None. I want more, not less. So there's currently 30 chains on Cosmos. Where is Terra on here? Akash, Comdex. Terra, okay. Terra has a larger market cap than Atom. Terra does. Than Atom. But Terra is a part of Atom. Terra, as a part of IBC, is secured by Atom. Juno, as we know, is blowing up. Osmo flipped cake today on Binance Smart Chain. Osmo flipped cake today. Everybody tells me Stargaze is going to be a winner. I bought a lot of Stargaze on that dip. A lot of Stargaze on that dip. Because I do not fade smart people. Did you see the tweet with the GIF? No. No, please send it to me. Send it to me in Telegram and I'll pull it up. Akash is decentralized web services, right? That's pretty great. We got our own dog token. We're at 30. Have you seen what's slated to roll out in 2022 and how many chains they expect? This is called mapofzones.com. 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 You can see zones up here, but my banner covers the rest of it. So mapofzones.com. Thank you, Scoob. Oh, that's hysterical. I mean, what a shade throw. I love it. I love it. Okay. And there's 30 chains right now. Atom is grossly undervalued. If you look at the roadmap for the next year, it is insane. Things that are launching and things that are happening. And there are like not aggressive estimates. Not aggressive estimates. Like pretty reasonable if you look at the roadmap. It says by the end of 2022, how many blockchains have been onboarded into IBC? Take a guess. Well, I get a drink. Keep in mind, we're at 30. We're at 30, roughly. I don't know. 4. 20 more. The estimate's just based on the roadmap of what is in process, and if people continue to onboard at the present rate, is closer to 200 by the end of this year. 200. Probably. Okay? Hodl Lambos, you beat me there, dude. You beat me there. It's literally where I was going. Hodl to the Moon Lambos, which your name is killing. I gotta find some sort. Hodl. I'm just gonna call you Lambos, man. Sorry. Yeah, fuck Mrs. Zero. Almost every single one of them starts with an airdrop. Almost every single one of them starts with an airdrop. We're going to go from 30 to 200, potentially in the next 12 months, 11 plus. And if you buy and stake Atom, you're pretty much going to get it. Yeah, there's a rumor that AVAX is joining IBC. And so AVAX onboards and you bring in several $1 billion, right? Every single new token, if you stake Atom, you get an airdrop. But the biggest point, see if I can find the article. I'll find it and I'll post it. Yeah, but you know what, Corey? There's going to be several EVM compatible blockchains, like several of them. Liquid staking is going to be done by Lido. Some people are doing liquid staking for Solana. Some people that are doing liquid staking for Ethereum. They're going to essentially, I mean, it's not confirmed, but they're talking about handling liquid staking for Cosmos. So now just imagine, like, think this out, right? You go from 30 to 200. Every single one of them, you get an airdrop proportional to how much you stake. Usually, sometimes it's a set amount. Doesn't really matter. Well, a lot of people will have hesitations about that and going, I don't want to lock up my tokens because if there's a black swan event, I need to get the fuck out. And like, look, it's a real concern. I've laid out why I am not concerned about that with Juno. And that's because of the first year inflation and tokenomics, and I want to be in. Okay. So I don't care about what Juno. With the other tokens, I do. Like, quite frankly, I do. But here's what's kind of gotten me around the corner on that. If you have a ton of new tokens coming, a lot of them start with an airdrop. Well, you need to be staked to a validator then, right? Yes, you do. Oh, well, if there's liquid staking, you can take loans against your deposits. Now I can be staked and still have access to liquidity. And I can still get out. So if you're an investor and you're looking at Cosmos and you're bullish on the future, and you have the ability to just like, look, I'm going to buy a ton of each token or a ton of the big ones, Osmo, Cosmos, Juno, whatever, and stake it. And I will have access to liquidity in the future when they launch. What's the downside? Like, why would you not do that? Truly. And oh, by the way, the current best way in to bridge from Solana, from Ethereum, is via Wormhole. And it's fine. I had issues with it going from Solana, which kind of sucked. I actually had no issues removing from Binance to Atom, believe it or not. I mean, they're all part of the same ecosystem, technically. So that's funny. But there isn't even like a super easy way to onboard. Like, Avalanche became easy to tell people to join because the Avalanche bridge is the best I've ever seen. It's fast, verifies quickly. They gave you a little bit of Atom a little bit of AVAX when you bridged over. So you didn't have to like get a friend to be like, yo man, can you send me some gas so I can sell some of my Ethereum for AVAX? And I'll send it back to you. Which, by the way, had to be done on many other chains, which I had to do, where I just had friends. I was like, yo, could you ship me a couple bucks? Like, I don't know how that starts, but clearly it starts somewhere. So we've already had this level of growth. And there's no easy way, truly, without going through a centralized exchange to get onto Cosmos. And you go, well, Jared, I mean, centralized exchange. Who really cares? People all go through centralized exchanges. Yeah, that's true. Most people don't care about that, but a lot of whales, a lot of like super huge money, they don't want to mess around with centralized exchanges. They just want to be able to bridge in and out. In fact, I remember there was a time where there was an enormous whale that was dipping in and out of Avalanche, And they were bridging over like $500 million a day and getting out every day. $500 million a day in and out. Because the bridge was that easy. And that's pretty impressive to me that could handle that. So my point in all of this is that there's no easy way to get in, and Gravity Bridge is starting. Juno is going to have an Ethereum bridge. Like, the flood doors truly haven't been open yet to where it's like easy. Have you guys, has anybody in here like personally onboarded someone into Cosmos? Because I have, probably like 10 of you. And it's not fun. It's not fun. Yeah, Lambos, you get it. You're like, all right, you got to get a Kepler wallet. Yeah, you want a ledger. All right, so you got to import your ledger into the Kepler wallet, and then yeah, so each thing's like a separate chain. You need to have a little bit of gas on every chain. Like, it's a pain in the ass. Like, make it simple, and they will come. So like, my point is, there's been some barriers. Yeah, some barriers to entry. And we've still done this. Okay. Let me pull up another one. Yeah, the Matic Bridge is easy, right? Did I already talk about crypto just died? I would argue that crypto actually did pretty well. I'd say the standard market died. Yeah, universal gas would be nice. That's what they're talking about with Raw. Raw with Juno. So Juno talked about Raw the other day. So Juno's going to have Juno, Netta, and Raw. And it's apparently Raw is going to be like the universal gas to operate on all chains, which is pretty nuts. And again, bullish on Juno. Yeah, you know what, Kevin? You're a good man for doing that. I have done that before, and I will not do it anymore. Okay. So I have this sitting in front of you. I have Juno sitting in front of you. This game that like you can kill yourself if you stare at sites like this for too long. Okay, this is marketcapof.com. Yeah, no, it's definitely reversing. It's just, look, we need standard market closed. So the standard market is currently in its dead period, I believe, for the next 40 minutes. So like, we're just kind of holding serve. And I don't think you'll see anything for the next 40 minutes. Like, you're not going to see anything really move and anything for 40 minutes. But if like the ES opens and gaps down, then yeah, I think you'll see every single stop run in Bitcoin and probably Ethereum. So place your bets. But I have this in front of you because Juno, with the market cap of Atom, be $287, and I think that's not unfair. Okay, you know, well, Jared, that's ridiculous. Like, why would it have a larger market cap than the system it's part of? Well, Luna's a part of the Cosmos. And it's larger. Luna, as presently evaluated, getting into Juno now is like getting into Luna when it was $2. Getting into Juno now is like getting into Luna at $2. That's true. Yeah, look, I'm not saying it's perfect, Akorian. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. You got to go fill my Juno bag. Yeah. If you look at, Bobby, I've said that every time I've shilled Juno, I've kind of given my reason that I'm bullish on it and what I see it be the future of. Okay. And it gets me super excited. Now, one quick thing, and then I'll get back to Juno, and we'll talk about Cosmos a little bit more. I've said 1,000 times that I am not willing to part with any of my Atom before this flip happens. Because there's no reason that DOT has a higher market cap than Atom. Like, none. And by the way, in the announcement I saw, it sounds like DOT might actually pair up with the Cosmos and become part of the system. No joke. And I was like, fuck it, what? And if that happens, then absolutely this will happen. Okay? So. Yeah, reasons known as, yeah. All right, fair enough. So if we think that Atom is probably at least a 2x away in terms of relative value, and we think Juno could have a run at Atom, the old transitive property applies. That's $500 Juno. You go, $500 Juno, Jared, it's $20, not even $19 right now. How can you say something that's $19 is going to go to 500? Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of a refresher on what I understand Juno to be. And again, look into it. Call me out if I'm wrong. Okay. Remember this? Flashbang, you're 100% right. Highlander. Where did I find out about it? Highlander, and I listened. Yeah, I'm not even gonna do that. Not even gonna do that. Yeah, like it's kind of annoying. Yeah, so Highlander hard shielded me on it, and I was like, "What do you mean, bro?" And he started talking about it, and then oh yeah, by the way, Kava joined today, or maybe yesterday. So I think I told you guys, like Highlander and I had a call in the summer. I was literally at the country club playing a round of golf, and I just like step off to the side, sat in the sun, and let dudes play through. And he like shilled me on Cosmos, and I was like, all right, I'll look into it. And this is how dumb my vetting process is, guys. But this is why, like when I had Dale and Kaz on, and when we were talking in the Stack Labs chat earlier, networks matter quite a bit, because like what I typically do, this is my vetting process. You guys are gonna be like, that's ridiculous. And I'll say, yeah, it is. I agree. But my process works pretty well because I find a lot of bangers. Somebody who's, I believe, is smart and I respect, Highlander, shills me on Cosmos, shills me on Juno. I go, I read about it, I try my best to go, what's the shit about? And wrap my head around it. Okay? So I wrap my head around it a little bit and I go, this seems pretty interesting to me. Let me get on there and try it a little bit. Get on, try it a little bit. And my vetting process now, from that point, looks like this. Hey guys, and I go to my inner circle. What do you think about Cosmos? Without giving my opinion at all. What do you think about it? What's the downside to it? How does it compare to DOT in your opinion? And every single person, to a man, and I asked like 20 people, many of whom are developers, many of whom run projects in crypto. And not a single one of them was like, Cosmos is a piece of shit. They're all like, the tech looks great. They're doing it the right way. Really, really well. Kind of hard to use. A little hard for people to understand. If they get through that, it'll be a big deal. The other thing I heard was they need liquidity. I'm like, well, yeah, that comes with growth, right? So everybody I talked to after Highlander hard shielded me, I was like, all right, everybody is like, these guys are really fucking good. Like people from Ethereum, people from Avalanche that I know, and they're like, yeah, it's good. And that's just not something you hear very often consistently. Usually you can find one hater somewhere who's like, piece of shit. You know, like you'll get somebody. Not one. I probably asked 25 people. And they all had relatively positive things to say, which is pretty wild.
So now I have like this base level concept in my brain about what Cosmos is and what it can be. And as someone who has jumped across chains, like, so I started on Ethereum just like everybody else. I've talked about it before. My first on-chain alt was Lid. Dale shilled me. Gainsey taught me how to buy it. Okay. I literally was like, hey man, what does gas mean? Like literally, I was that guy. So I tried that one. I was an early adopter to Binance Smart Chain because I was sick of getting crushed on gas and Ethereum. And that, guys, I got onto Binance Smart Chain because transactions on Ethereum were way too expensive for me. And I was like, this annoys me. I don't want to be here. Why am I spending $28 a transaction? Okay. That was enough for me to be like, I'm fucking leaving. Okay. I would kill for $28 a transaction right now. Then I go to Binance. Binance was amazing. It was lightning quick. Transactions were 3 pennies. Okay. You go, Jared, you're running off track here. I'm actually not. This all comes back to Cosmos. Every time I bridged and tried a new chain, I was like, God, this is such a pain in the ass. Like, all right, I got to get through here. I think I actually had to go through Binance to get money onto Binance Smart Chain initially, which was a huge pain in the ass. And you're like, all right, this sucks. And then you start hearing about how Binance is really like CDFI because it's centralized, decentralized finance because like CZ could do anything. By the way, I've told the story. I've told the story about getting rugged and how I was hacked for a lot of money. And you guys all know that story. I'm not going to get into it now. But I was also in the MCAT rug, the Meerkat rug on Binance Smart Chain with 6 figures. 6 figures, okay? And at the time, that was a large percentage of my portfolio, at least that I had in play. And I got rugged. And I was like, oh my God, like that set me back at least a year. And what happened? CZ essentially shut down the bridges so the dude can get his money out. And eventually he had to come out and be like, it was all a big experiment. Here's your money back, right? And that was because CZ shut down the blockchain. So while as a person who is a beneficiary of the Meerkat rug being refunded, which I was, there was a bit of pause to be like, that's kind of wild he could do that. Shut it down. So one step further, try all these different chains. Now I learn about Cosmos and how they're connected. And when I look at this, I think, okay, so those are different like dApps within Cosmos, right? No. Yeah, he shut down the bridges, man. He shut down the bridges, doxed the hacker, and was like, you either give the money back or like, I'm gonna come find you with my people. And he was like, I'll give the money back because like, you don't fuck with CZ, dude. That dude's worth $100 billion. Billion dollars. So anyway, that's what he did. So now you learn about Cosmos and how these are all different blockchains. And by the way, I'm sure one day we'll click on Terra and it will zoom in and show you all the different dApps on Terra and all the different things that are within there. But they're technically separate blockchains. And this all pulls me back to Juno, okay? Oh, for sure, man. Believe me. I was a recipient of that, and I still think it's fucked up. By the way, that's not what they said happened, just that's what happened. So now you go back to Juno, and you go, all right, I'm really in on this space. Like, I like what the Cosmos is doing. I like how it's a bunch of chains together where you can kind of just move. Like, look, Cosmos is not fun to get into, but once you're there and you learn it, it's super easy. It's super easy to go from Osmo to Juno to Atom to Swift Chain back and forth. So you're like, that's actually pretty nice that it's that easy to do, right? And then you look at Juno and you say, so you're telling me that we could go from 30 blockchains to 200 in the next 11 plus months. And Juno is the first mover advantage that will be able to execute smart contracts on multiple chains at once in an expanding universe. In an expanding universe. They're the ones that will sit between, and if the vision for what Cosmos can be comes true, Juno is what sits between every single blockchain and being able to simultaneously execute actions between, across, and in DeFi for all of them. My brain can't even comprehend what people could build. I'm honestly not smart enough to even think about it. Truly not smart enough. Okay? So, how did I get so bullish on Juno? Why did I start shilling people into it? That was my entire process. That was my FA process. Obviously, I read the white paper. Obviously, I went in and read more about Juno. I went and learned about the people behind it and how freaking smart they are. And I was like, yo, this is legit. Cosmos is legit. And as someone who has played almost every single chain out there, including Hecko, guys, Hecko. I played on Hecko, where I had to use Google Translate to translate Chinese into English, okay? Like, I've tried everything. And I'm like, give me an interconnected blockchain and the piece that sits between all of them, and I'm pretty damn bullish on Juno. So you can't shake me out of my FA on Juno. You cannot. And that's why. I don't remember. Yep. I don't remember exactly when I had that aha moment, but it's just very simple. Like, there was nothing I did there that was like, holy shit, look at this huge leap. But like, poke holes in my logic, please. I'd like you to. Can't. Right? Kava joins today. Nuts. Just absolutely nuts. I got on the Juno at 8.3. Let me tell you, I underestimated as fuck. Yeah. So here's the thing, man. It's a multi-billion-dollar market cap. You're 100% correct. I mean, it's not even a... Get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah. And look, I want to have somebody on from Juno. I sent a message to Wolf, who's a co-founder. I didn't like tag anybody who I know knows him to be like, yo, this guy wants you to come on the show. But I want him to come talk about it. Because I feel like we're kind of ground zero on Juno. Like, we were into Juno before it was popular, right? Which is great because people are pumping our backs. But like, I feel like there's a little bit of like, yo, you know, pay it forward to these dudes because they were the OGs from a community adapting it. And hopefully he will. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but like, I have a few ideas about what Juno could be interchain, and like, I want to know if I'm right and ask those questions. So, you know, maybe we organize a huge Twitter raid where we just all at Wolf. What's the next Juno? Juno is the next Juno. Did I call the Bitcoin sell-off? No. Like, that happened in the past 2 hours? No. Yeah, Twitter raid. I called the top. Does that count? I don't know why I feel like I have to defend myself to new people. It's pretty funny. I get like pissed off. People accuse me of being a LARP. I don't know. I got to get better at that. But yeah, no, on this day I streamed November 10th and I was like, this looks pretty bad. So yeah, even if you sold the bottom of that day or any of the following days, we were out ahead of 62,000. So yeah, we did all right. Yeah, Juno launched October 1st. That is because you play with small money. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. My intro into crypto was JP Juno shells, bro.
Yeah. That dude came in and was like, show us your P&L, man. You got my, yeah, nice. Yeah, that dude was like, show us your P&L. Do you even make money, bro? I want to be like, my Juno. Look, I'll tell you guys what I have 20,000 Juno. I have 20,000 Juno stake. I've sold none. So, you know, that's how much I believe in this. You can do that math on your own if you like. Is staking actually free money? Yeah. So the jig on Juno is if you stake, you make the APY, which is this. But it takes 28 days to unstake. It takes 28 days to unstake. That's why when I was talking about liquid staking and being able to take loans against your deposited assets, it's a big deal. Yes, Camel, my dog. Let's go. Is there a tutorial that I set up about what? Cosmos? I need to do it, man. I think Highlander and I will actually like get on and actually record stuff, and then we'll produce it. Which, by the way, if any of you have like video editing skills and want to help out, like I would really love some help in doing this, because I feel like we could add more. You know, can I pay you? Sure. I'd be happy to pay you if you have those skills. Or you can get access to my shills and my knowledge early. There's some money in that too. So you tell me. That's correct, Kevin. That's correct. That's compounding though. Yep. Yep. Oh, that one. Yeah, it is. So my actual like TA crypto course is still coming. You're going to be like, yo, hold on, Lamos, I'm a professional filmmaker. Bro, what? Okay. Well, you're probably slightly overqualified for what I'm looking for. And it's almost like I'd feel bad asking you for shit. But if you're in for a like-for-like trade, man, I'm down. Advertising director and editor. Okay, you and I need to talk. Are you in Stack Labs? You have to be. Who are you in Stack Labs? Send me a DM. Yeah, send me a DM. We'll talk. We'll see if we can come to something. If not, dude, like no big deal. Right on, Dan. Yeah, word up. I didn't know that's you. But like, look, everybody has their life deals being made. I just want to put out good content and help people. Like, truly, man, that's what I want to do. How come staking is so plus EV? Yeah. God damn, Camel. So, like, I didn't know we were that connected. Camel, you've been here forever. I didn't know you were that connected. Holy smokes. So, Capital, why is it so plus EV? If you just heard all I said about Juno and why I'm so bullish on it, then you should know this part too. And then we'll kind of move off this, talk about the market. Juno is a fair launch token. Okay, it's a fair launch token, meaning that there are no VCs. There's no multi-coin who was holding a large portion of Solana, right? And so it was fair launch. The way that you got Solana was by being a staker to Atom, right? By being a staker to Atom. If you were staking and validating on Atom, you were airdropped Juno. I was not on the chain yet. I didn't get it. However, if you read the tokenomics of Juno, yeah, so I'm getting there. If you read the tokenomics of Juno, it has a 12-year inflationary period, meaning that like they airdropped X amount,
And then, yeah, well, this is a good example. It's a good example for all of them, okay? They airdropped X amount. And then over the next 12 years, the remainder of the supply is going to be given out to people who are staking to a validator, which staking to a validator in a proof of stake chain is helping secure the chain. It's helping keep things decentralized. It's why I spoke of earlier, if you're going to stake within the Cosmos, stake outside of a top 10 validator, because that helps decentralize the chain. It gives more people more power and doesn't leave it all in the hands of a couple people, which is why we love Highlander, because he's a validator on Juno. Now back to why it's so plus EV right now for Juno is because if you look at the total value proposition of Juno, it's hard to not look at that and be like, oh my God, this is a big deal. And then when you look at the tokenomics of Juno, 40% of all of the inflation that's going to happen over those 12 years are going to happen in year one. That means 40% inflation year one. And at the end of year one, so essentially at the end of September of next year, that 40% inflation for year one will be done, which means that 50% of all the tokens that will ever exist will be in supply. So for someone like me, who is very, very bullish on Juno, it's very hard for you to shake me out of my FA on Juno because it is plus EV to stake at least for year one, probably through year two, because the schedule is 40% year one, half of supply is out, 20% year two, and then 10% and decreasing by 10% the following 9 years or 10 years or whatever it is. And so for you to stake Juno the first couple of years, it's plus EV because it's when the majority of supply is coming out. So if you have a ton, like I do, and you're staking, you're getting more while inflation is high. That's right. Get it while you can. And it is a bet. I mean, you're betting that they're going to do what they say they're going to do. Am I guaranteeing that Juno is going to be what I just described? I am not. But they've got a pretty good head start. The team is full of bangers and people like it, okay? And so Capital says, where is this coming from? Well, it comes because people are buying more than they're selling. And even though people like me are receiving crazy yield daily, you know what I'm not doing? I'm not selling it. I am restaking it to gain more yield. And so the FA and what people feel about the project is so good that even though they're getting this yield, they're restaking it. So other people will come in and go, shit, I want to get a part of that. And so what do? You operate on the AMM, which before was Osmo, now it's Juno Swap, and you say, I'm going to put in money. So you're adding money, which is inflating the price, which means every day your yield gets that much better because nobody's selling. What you have to think about, and this goes back to like our TA class, and this goes back to, what we're going to talk about and what truly is technical analysis. And people go, oh, it's lines on charts. This is like moon phases. It really isn't. It's psychology is what it is. The only reason why there's support and resistance is because there's a human on the other side who is valuing a project at a certain level and they decide I'm willing to sell, right? So they say, this is too much for me. I'm going to sell. Or there's supply sitting overhead of people that are going, okay, I was a VC and I bought it at this amount and then invested this amount, so I will sell when it gets there. So that creates support and resistance. Well, when things are fair launched, there's no VC sitting behind this shit up 20 million X like there is on Solana. It's exactly what happened to Solana, guys. Solana is as good as anything that's out there. Juno and Solana are actually very similar in terms of like the speed of the chain, right? But there are so many VCs up thousands of percent that bought for like, I don't know, Solana, like their cost on Solana was like 50 cents. Sorry, you get to $240 and you're in at 50 cents. Are you going to sell? Yeah, pretty sure they will. Okay. Yeah, so I did. When is that live? I touched on that earlier, Campbell, before you got here, by the way. Took out the lows on Bitcoin. I'll move that to here. Yeah, please tell me about it because I'd like to know more. But I know it'll be a big deal. So essentially, people see the value of this long term. They're unwilling to sell. And as other people learn about, they're willing to put money in.
My head short is working. Guess I'm doing profits. I would imagine you're buying Juno. And so why does it continue going up? Because nobody's selling. And if you want to sell, it takes you a month to unstake. And so Camel responded and said, why doesn't everybody stake? It's just free money. Why would you do that and just like take the yield versus buying more? Which is a very logical question. It's a good question. And right now you don't really even have any sort of conundrum because you can't. But in the near future, when liquid staking is available and you can take loans against your staked tokens, it becomes a little bit more dicey. And so it's another reason, quite frankly, why I'm bullish is that even if you want to get out, you can't. And so it kind of forces iron hands. You can't even take a loan against it. You can't even sell your like deposit receipts. Like there's a lot of things that are available on other chains that are not available here. And so, yeah, you're just not going to see the downward price pressure that you would see on other things. Yeah, it is. We're pretty close too. The bid and ask, man, just like everything else. No, well, I mean, they are futures, right? The fact that we are selling off, so you can see the order books. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, if Juno becomes the easiest bridge to and from Ethereum, you will never, ever regret buying Juno. Yeah. So Bobby, hit me up in Stacked, and I'll walk you through it. Essentially, right now, to bridge from Solana or Ethereum via wormhole is bridge to Luna or Terra from Solana or Ethereum is the easiest. You bridge UST there because it's available on both, and then you can convert it and withdraw it into Osmo, buy Juno on Osmo, or you probably could deposit it straight into Juno Swap. I haven't tried it yet. Juno Swap wasn't a thing when I did it last, so you probably could go from Terra straight to Juno Swap, and then buy Juno that way. So there's a way to do it, and plenty of guys that would be able to help you. Yeah. Again, it's the nice part about Stack Labs, guys. Like, as much as it's about, obviously I'm the face of it, but I can't tell you how many times that I've gone into Stack Labs and been like, yo, guys, how do you do this? And 10 people are there to reply and be like, this is how. It's beautiful. So it's a resource. Yep. All good things. So you say what determines price? Just like anything else, man. Price dynamics are determined based off the bid and the ask, right? You can see it here. It'll show up for crypto. Well, with stocks you can. It'll show like the bid. Yeah, right there. So you can see the bid and the ask. So right now, you can actually tell where it's going to open. You see this down here? Try to zoom in. This is the bid. This is the ask. This is where we closed. So right now, they're anticipating a 16-point drop, or a 16-point drop at the open in 7 minutes. I will say, as someone who's done this for a while, I don't put a lot of faith in that. Usually in the last minute, you see some crazy shit happen. Do I use Pancake Swap? I used Pancake Swap in October of 2019. I was in PancakeSwap so early. In fact, I've said this many times. I'd be retired 10 times over if I just kept what I yield farmed on PancakeSwap and not sold it for 30 cents instead of I sold it for like 30 cents instead of holding it to like $44. But I was in a PancakeSwap so early. There was a bug early on. Where whatever you deposited, whatever kind of PancakeSwap you deposited, they had to actually roll the contract. So there was no way for you to get that cake out, right? Just deposit it. You're earning yield on it. So they ended up like airdropping you something to make up for it, but they also let you keep it and you can collect the yield. So I have like what's now like $10,000 of cake that I can't withdraw on PancakeSwap. It's just always farming for me. Always farming. So every now and again, yep, cake got stuck. Every now and again, I'll go in and I'll withdraw and I'll be like, oh, hey, there's, $500 and just withdraw it. Super funny. Can't get out. Yeah, no, they locked it. That's how early I was, man. You can claim the yield, but you cannot withdraw what you deposited. You can claim the yield, but you cannot withdraw what you deposited. So it's funny, like I look at my account and I'm like, why is there $8,000 there? That's pretty, where the hell did that come from? Like you look at your portfolio summary, I'm like, that's weird. And that's what it is. Like I'll forget about it every now and again. You go in and you just like look and claim whatever. Here's the thing though. Yeah, F in the chat. Not really. Because I'll be honest with you, I'd have sold that bitch. I'd have sold it. There's no way I would have held it to $44. So like it was locked and they rolled the contract when cake was like 35 cents, 38 cents. Like I couldn't do anything about it. And I was like, oh, whatever. And now it's just turned to be like this long-term investment program that just pays me out of yield. I've logged in probably 6 months. I need to go see how much is in there right now. Are they doing well? Shit, that's great. That's right. In a sense, Swap will be as early as PancakeSwap when they had that bug. Opportunity reborn. You know what, Camel Man? I want to talk. I'm not. No, man, I don't dox my shit. Nope. No, I played that game once. 57, 58, 4 minutes. So Juno Swap will not, but Juno will have Raw and they will have Neta, which will both be part of the Juno system. I don't really understand it that well. That's why I want to have Wolf and some of these other guys on, talk about it, be like, yo, I'm really stupid, but I'm a big fan. Please help me. The thing about, so like, Juno can have additional dApps that are going to exist on Juno that could have their own tokens, right? Just like I was using the example earlier, like Terra is a part of the cosmos. Luna is the token. But Mirror Protocol exists on Terra, on Luna. So there's a Mirror token that sits inside of Luna. DJ Infidel said, how would you position for a bear market? There are several stable yield protocols out there. I am in Platypus on Avalanche right now, staking quite a lot. And it's just stable yields. So there are ways to kind of hedge. And I'm fully hedged. Like this stuff, we could go to 30K right now. Right now. I would not give a shit. And if we actually break our trend and we get the reversal that we want, Raw will be the native asset, Juno swap for LP incentives. Perfect. Okay. So if we get a break above 44,000, I'm sorry. For those of you who are like, what's the signal? I'm fully hedged. Until we flip this from resistance to support and I see a trend change. If I see a trend change, Then those hedges I was just discussing, I will close. And I get long here on the retest. Boom. And we're in growth mode again. But I just have stables. So I have stable farms producing yield for me. Yeah, 1 minute, I know. 56, it's declining. It's not gapping under the lows though. So the worst case scenario is if it opened at like 44, 38, 39 and just sold straight down from there, we'd see catastrophe in crypto. No joke. It's not doing that. 54. If you guys never done this, and I imagine a lot of you. Oh, what? Yeah, of course, dude. Crazy, you got to spend some time in Stack Labs, bro. You don't know enough. And open is now. The last minute, the bid and ask went up. Literally the last seconds. So let's see if this is a fake. Honestly, usually is. Usually is. I'll tell you this right now. You're going to see sellers from 45.17 down to 44.93. I'll say this again, and I don't have a ton more time, guys. Like, I'm gonna have to ride out because it's like dinner time. So I need to go be attentive to my family here shortly. It's not dinner time, but I have a 4-year-old, so he eats now, and I make it, and then whatever. That's nice. By the way, Camel's dropping some like real alpha right now. Thanks, DJ. Yeah, comparatively, we're doing okay. Better than I thought we would do. Just understand, guys, this will be like my parting shot to all of you. In heavy times of volatility, alts usually get hammered. And they have not been yet. In fact, you know, Adam's still doing okay. Juno's still up, right? Like, it's the stuff that has, yeah. Corey, don't get me started, man. The stuff that has true FA is doing fine. The stuff that's vaporware bullshit is getting crushed. Okay? And that's where relative strength matters. So, if we get a rinse out, which is, I'm going to give it a coin flips chance, okay? Which is pretty high. That we see the lows run. You see some crazy shit happening over the next couple of days. You want to look at what alts did better during those rinse outs. Adam's done very well. Avalanche, through all of this, has done very well. I'm actually shocked at how well Avalanche has done. Matic has done well. That's right. Stuff that actually has potential is doing well. Stuff that doesn't, not so much. I mean, like, get out of here, man. I have felt zero stress this entire time down on Bitcoin because we found good projects with huge upside. But like, look at Solana. I don't want to look at the looks chart because I sold. Don't put me through that kind of pain. I saw it was like $7. What's it now? Yep. I don't know how I just got. All right, well, that's not ideal. I think Secret's gonna have a huge run though. Might be next hedge for passive income. Yeah. But you know what, man? There's a lot of people that invested in that money that are up a ton. And when they get token unlocks, they're gonna crush it. They're gonna crush it. Okay. So play that game as long as you like, but please take profits on looks because you will get crushed. That's a fact. You'll get crushed eventually. Yeah, Juno tripled its market cap while Bitcoin was collapsing. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Nice little strength coming in. So look for strength. If we get a rinse out, we really need to hold 37.5. If 37.5 doesn't happen, we're gonna have problems. If we lose 37.5 with any sort of real strength, guys, we're going to 29. And you're gonna see some real shit happen. But be smart with your money. Worked hard for it. Don't get smoked. All right. Yeah, ADA had Sunday Swap. Corey made a comment about it's usually like my favorite place to make jokes. I'm not going to because, you know, at this point, it's like really, really messing around with an underprivileged youth. And I'm not in for that. By the way, the 200 day is absolutely going to get hit. And so, yeah, this is a pretty likely hold area. We just need to weather the damage in crypto while we get there. Essentially, from this 200, we can see a fake down, snap back up. So we need crypto to not fall apart as that happens, because if the standard market can level and crypto, or if we can hold while the standard market does its thing, when it starts to go back up again, we're going to rip. Okay. Anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like this was a good show. I know it was a little bit off format, not usually what I do. But I feel like we had some crazy volatility. It was worth talking about. I'm going to have a taxi on soon, maybe even tomorrow, and kind of give the show to him to talk about Orkin and talk about Strudel, what's going on there, which would be pretty cool. Those of you, yeah, Lambo, if you want to reach out, we can chat. Anybody else with video skills, let me know. We can do more like, you know, how-to videos to help people out. So if you have those kind of skills, if you're interested in getting involved, like I said, I make no money on this. I do this for fun. I'm not paid by Stacked. I'm not paid by anybody to do this. Paid by you all who are subs. And thank you so much for the subs, by the way. It means a lot to me. If you, you know, I'm not asking for subs. If you're tight on cash, please don't sub. But when you do, I appreciate it. Jared, I only had Telegram on phone, and that's getting fixed. Where can I reach you? Here, Twitter, or Discord. Trying to arrange something between Dibby and Wolf to come on stream. Yeah, Twitter. You can DM me on Twitter, man. DM me on Twitter. I'll respond there. So, yeah. Thank you for trying to coordinate that. And yeah, you guys have a good night. Taylor Lord, you're coming at the very end, buddy. But since I know you and I like you, I'll answer your question as we're going out. So I need to get to my
sign off screen. Hold on. Oh, all right, hit that. Go up here, hit the outro. Outro's 1 minute long. Thanks, bud. So BTC in 2 sentences. One, surprisingly good relative strength. It's holding up, holding this level pretty darn well. I think there's a decent chance we get a rinse out tonight because there's a lot of volatility, and I think stocks probably have a bad day tonight. Futures do, and then we have a bad morning tomorrow. So I think that's pretty likely to happen. It would not surprise me if we see a run down to 39K, possibly down to 37K pretty soon. But if we hold these levels, I would expect to step back. I will get stopped out personally at 39.6. That's where my stop is on my long. And I will buy the first reversal when I see it. What's the make model of my chair? Platty sent it to me. I'll send it to you in the chat. It just escapes me now. All right, 5 seconds left. See you guys in Stack Labs.